Ever wondered why your dog suddenly reacts to something or someone that at another time they were perfectly fine with? This is often a result of a concept known as trigger stacking and is when a dog experiences multiple stressful or scary situations in a short period of time that leads to them feeling overwhelmed. It tends to happen more with dogs that experience ongoing anxiety or reactivity, but every dog has a coping threshold, a breaking point at which they're no longer able to control their responses, and it can vary from dog to dog and day to day. Like us, when stressed, a dog's body releases cortisol, the stress hormone, which builds up with every trigger they encounter until otherwise a minor situation pushes them over the edge and sees them growling, lunging, or even biting in response. Others might even freeze or even try to flee. Many owners aren't even aware of the day-to-day events that can contribute to their dog's stress levels, such as loud noises, traffic, unfamiliar people and animals, changes in their routine, physical pain, or even new and busy environments. It can also be things that create a positive response, but it increases their arousal levels, such as the anticipation of a walk, saying hi to lots of dogs on their walk, or even high-energy play. Since the physical and mental effects of stress and arousal can last for at least 24 hours, trigger stacking can even occur when the triggers are spread over a period of hours, or sometimes even days. That's why it's important we try to minimise the triggers in our dogs. However, I know that's not always easy to do, so we therefore need to find ways to help them decompress throughout the day, which can take some time depending on the dog. If possible, give your dog a break somewhere quiet with a long-lasting chew like these VitaPet rawhide alternatives, or a food stuffed toy, or let them take a nap. Sleeping's important for dogs. Use foraging games like scattering their food or treats around the house or yard, or a snuffle mat to tap into their sense of smell, which releases endorphins, the feel-good hormones that help to reduce the cortisol levels. Plus, they're fun too. Do easy obedience training or gentle quiet exercises and avoid activities which will increase their arousal levels, such as high-energy games or really busy walks. If you are struggling, get the help of a qualified trainer or talk to your vet, as in some instances, medication may be needed as part of their behaviour modification plan. For more dog training tips or to check out their rawhide alternative range, visit the VitaPet website. Hope for Our Children is a Queensland-based charity that raises awareness for the plight of foster children and provides support services to help them in times of need. I met with Managing Director Rachel Carter in Toowoomba, where they're based, to learn more about this and their partnership with the Petstock Foundation. Rachel, tell me about the organisation and what and who you help.
Hope for Our Children exists to support the young people in our community, so the most vulnerable and the most disadvantaged, and their families where we can.
Yes.
So we have three main services, and that is our therapy dog program, our backpacks, which we give to children who are fleeing dangerous or removed from dangerous situations, and our carer support group.
Okay, and with the backpacks, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the backpacks are given to children, as I say, when they're removed, and they're often walking out with nothing, absolutely nothing, or a garbage bag full of, you know, just a few things that they were quickly able to gather. Yeah. Just so they have a little bit of dignity and they have something that belongs to them and is theirs.
Tell me about the therapy dog program and who that's supporting.
Yeah, so the therapy dog program, we have dogs going into a few different situations, but the main place that we want them to be is in the courts when the children have to testify. This helps the children to actually testify better because they're grounded and they're calm, which helps them to remember events. But until the dogs get up to that point in their training, they're visiting children in the paediatric ward at the hospital, or they're going to the waiting room at the courts and just helping to calm the situation.
So how is the foundation helping you?
Yeah, it's very exciting to have them on board for the next 2 years. At the moment, we have little Odessa that they're supporting through her training, and she goes into the hospital at the moment, but we want her to be in the courts. Yeah. And we'll have a puppy. They pay for all of the dog's needs, vets, food, anything that comes up for the dogs, and some of their training as well, and training for the handler.
While in town, Rachel took me along to see a couple of the therapy dogs and their handlers at work, including little Odessa, who is still in training at the hospital, and Haven, who has graduated to provide support at the courthouse.
We come in here weekly and visit all the children and the staff, just trying to put some joy in their life because hospital's not a lot of fun to be. She comes and visits the kids on wards, and she will sit calmly with them, be patted by them, and she absolutely loves it.
Haven comes up to the courthouse and she interacts with the people waiting for their court appearance.
Yes.
It makes a massive difference. It surprised me, particularly the young men, interacted with her a lot, and then that really de-escalated them. So instead of comparing what they were doing or what they were appearing for, they were actually focused on the dog.
If you're able to donate some products for their backpacks, visit hopeforourchildren.com.au or head to the Petstock Foundation's website to learn more about this partnership and other community organisations that they support.
I take it this is a teenage boys one.
Teenage boys, absolutely. With lots of deodorant. We definitely needed that.
And caps. Very cool
Yes.
caps.
While many of today's dog breeds look very different to their wild wolf ancestors, they still share around 99% of their DNA. So, to learn more about what we should be feeding our dogs based on the optimal diet of their ancestors, I visited the Wolf Connection Sanctuary in California.
Renee, who have we got here in this pack with us today?
In this pack, this is our nanny and puppy pack. We have Wander here hanging out with you and Journey chilling on the floor, and Luna and Wiley, a couple of our nannies, and then another nanny and pup in the background.
Now, you get a lot of wolf dogs and wolves into your care that haven't had the best start in life. From a nutritional aspect, what has been going wrong?
Most of the time, it's a lot of people are either feeding just basic dog food that you can get off any shelf, which usually isn't not the greatest quality, and also the amount that people feed them is not accurate to what it says on the bag.
Of course.
These guys need a lot of food to grow really fast, really young. And then the other part is that these guys need meat.
Yes.
So, but when people think, oh, well, I'm gonna give them meat, a lot of times they just give them bland chicken.
Yeah.
They don't add any supplements or vitamins or mixture of the meat.
Yes, bone, organs, all the stuff that
Right.
they need. And how have you found, once they come into your care, the difference, I guess, in their overall demeanour and their health and well-being when they're fed properly?
A lot of times when they come in, they're malnourished, they're underweight, they have hot spots and dander, all kinds of physical problems that we could see outside. Their coats aren't very vibrant, very bland coloring and losing their fur. And it's incredible to see within just a couple of months of them having our diet we feed our pack, that suddenly their coats are vibrant again, they're fuller again. A lot of the allergies and hot spots and dander completely disappear and they don't have issues.
And so obviously you feed them more like a wild wolf would eat in that bath diet. What do you tend to feed them?
We feed them raw meat in the morning, so it's ground chicken with bone and muscle meat and organs mixed in and different nutrients and things in it, along with kibble in the evening. So we separate the two, and the kibble is high quality, limited ingredients with a little bit of the veggies and things mixed into it that they need.
Yeah, just giving that complete and balanced diet that they need. And so these guys are living with you, but then they're going to go join the rest of the pack?
Yeah, so I live on site, and so while the puppies, because they came with us at 2 months of age, so very tiny, so that's why the nannies have been raising them.
Wow,
and
so tiny.
they're now, 90 pounds at 8 months old, and just going through the process of their spaying and neutering, and once they're all recovered, they get to go live with the rest of the pack.
And if people would like to find out more about the work that you do here, how can they get involved with Wolf Connection?
Oh, there's plenty of ways that they can get involved. They can come visit us. We do different events and walk with wolves that you can come, private visits, and even volunteering opportunities.
Oh, lovely. And a new online platform as well.
Yes, we're very excited about our online platform to be hitting multiple high schools and really making an impact for those that can't make it here physically, but to still experience the magic.
Oh, wonderful. Keep up the great work, and I believe it's almost feeding time as well.
Yes.
Thank you for all the wonderful work that you do.
Thank you.
This story was brought to you by Big Dog Pet Foods. To learn more about their complete and balanced raw food diets, visit their website.
Now imagine if you never brushed your teeth or went to the dentist. The impact this would have, not only on your mouth health, but your overall health and well-being would be devastating. Not to mention the pain you would be in due to all the gum disease, loose and cracked teeth, cavities and other issues. Now, given more than 70% of dogs and cats begin to show signs of dental disease by the age of 3, it's clearly evident that many pets across Australia are suffering in silence as their gum disease worsens. Dogs and cats inherently hide their pain, and they'll continue to eat even if it's hurting them a lot. Fortunately though, there are some ways to help keep plaque and dental disease at bay in between professional cleans. This includes teeth brushing, which I'm going to show you how to do properly shortly. You can also use the suite of oral care from TropiClean. There's Fresh Breath dental wipes, sprays, drops and foams, as well as the dental health solution that you can add to your pet's water. There's also dental chews, and there's a dental Kong ball that you can use with the Entice's teeth cleaning gel. When it comes to brushing their teeth, never use human toothpaste. TropiClean have a range of pet-specific natural cleaning gels, which come in different flavours, and they also have a range of different toothbrushes. So you can choose the one that works best for you and your pet. So how do you brush your dog's teeth properly? Well, it's easier than you think, but you do have to be patient. Start small, particularly if your dog has a tiny little mouth like Darcy or smaller. You can use a finger brush, or even, if this doesn't fit, a baby's toothbrush, but never force the brush into their mouth. Go slowly. You can gently lift up their lip and get some help if you need to run the pasted toothbrush along the teeth from as many angles as you can, just like you would your own. And use small circular movements over the teeth all the way up to the gum line to make sure you cover the entire surface. Concentrate on those back and side teeth, and also the long canines at the front and those cute little incisors. You could even use a wipe for those if you need to. If you are struggling, you might want to start with using some meat or tuna on your finger and rub that along their gums before allowing them to sniff and feel the toothbrush against the outside of their mouth. And then you can try and brush with it. Small steps. You can then introduce the gel on your finger and brush with that, then the toothbrush. If your pup is particularly anxious and the process is causing too much stress, wind back and don't force it. Just implement all the other oral care into their daily routine, get the 6-monthly dental health check at your vet, and start trying again. You can find the TropiClean range at your local pet stock store or website.
When it comes to training our dogs, it's important that we use methods that support their physical and emotional well-being, strengthens our bond with them, and allows them to still express their natural dog behaviours rather than using dominance and punishment to shut them down, which are methods often used in the alpha dog training approach. This might include staring or yelling at the dog, holding them down or forcing them onto their back into a roll. Physical punishment, or exposing them to sudden loud sounds, sprays or pain when they display unwanted behaviours. This method of training is based on the outdated and inaccurate theory that dogs and wolves have a natural instinct to form a hierarchy within their pack by establishing themselves as the alpha or the dominant pack member using punishment or intimidation to control a situation. More often than not, you're punishing a dog that's trying to communicate how they're feeling. This method is often ineffective in the long term as it's not addressing those underlying reasons for the behaviour and usually results in a dog becoming fearful, anxious or even aggressive rather than a happy, healthy, well-adjusted dog who trusts their owner and is also able to communicate how they're feeling about a situation with safety. Now, I am not saying that your dog doesn't need to learn that there is a consequence for a behaviour or action and that this may be good or bad. In fact, that's how dogs learn. But positive reinforcement training is an effective and humane method of training, backed by science and other research, the veterinary industry and animal welfare groups. It focuses on rewarding desirable behaviours and ignoring or redirecting rather than punishing those undesirable ones. And by using a reward that motivates your dog the most, whether it be praise, treats or toys when they display a desired behaviour, it makes them more likely to repeat it, which is what we want. By ignoring and not giving them what they want, which is actually a negative consequence to the dog, there's then little benefit for them to continue that action, especially if you can then redirect them to an alternative and more desirable behaviour and reward that. So it reinforces a good consequence for doing the right thing. If you have a new puppy or you need some dog training support, visit your local pet stock store or check out their website. Our pets are so much part of our family these days. It's no wonder we want to spoil them. Jane, is this why you started Golp?
Absolutely. Back in 2011, when I had a small family myself and working out what to feed them, it was all about functional food for us. So, and hiding a few vegetables, of course. And then that extension happened with having pets too, and just finding some beautiful functional food for them as well. and nutritional outcomes. So that was where the journey began.
So we have the puree and the yoghurt. How do these two work together?
So with the yoghurt, it's formulated with the good fats, it's lactose-free, it's a probiotic.
Yes.
And it has live cultures in it, so it's incredibly good from setting up the gut flora.
And then you need to feed that, obviously, don't you?
Yeah, so once you've got the good bacteria set up in the gut, it needs to be fed.
Yes.
So we've created the puree, it's got fibre in it, and that fibre is actually consumed by the good bacteria, and then the gut bacteria just explodes.
In a good way, though. So
in a good way.
It's in a very good way. And, of course, then that's really beneficial for their coat, their skin, their eyes, all those good things that come from having a good gut health.
Absolutely. And just the diversity of it and the phytonutrients that are in the colourful foods as well, they all play a significant part of wellness in the gut, basically. It's all about the gut.
It is all about the gut. And then, of course, we've got the bone broth here. Tell me a little bit about that.
So the bone broth has also been formulated and cooked over a long period of time, gently. And then the amino acids are in there and it helps inflammation and it's a great hydrator.
Yes.
So just an everyday hydrator, and it has minerals in it that the body just craves. So it's a no-brainer, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. You can use this when, you know, if you're fasting and you can't quite go the 24 hours, you can give this to them and just add it to their food for a real extra boost. Plus these, you can just put onto a lick mat as well, which is really cool.
Absolutely. So you can either place them onto whatever you're feeding and decorate it however you want to, because you can, or you can put it onto a licky mat and put them in the freezer and then pop them outside if you're actually going away for the afternoon. And then you can feed straight into their mouth, which is that beautiful endorphins that you get by just engaging with your pet as well.
And everyone loves ice cream, but humans should not be giving their dogs their ice cream. So tell me about yours, because this looks awesome.
So the ice cream has superfoods added to it. It's also lactose-free. It has good fats to help negate the spikes of insulin that goes on in our human food world as well as our pet food world. The nutritional value is one thing, but the fun and excitement is just second to none.
So not only can you enjoy your dessert, so can our dogs. Now, Golp's available Australia-wide, including at Petstock. Where can people find out more?
Go to golp.com.au.
Lovely. Thanks, Jane. These boys, you're about to have some. They're going to enjoy it, I reckon.
They certainly will enjoy it.
As a Petstock Rewards member, if you purchase any participating brand of flea, tick and worming treatment, including NexGard Spectra, they'll give you 15% brand cashback to use the next time you shop for the same brand, even if it's on promotion. T's and C's apply. Visit the website for details. In another episode of Pooches at Play, I met with Professor Stephen Barker to learn more about the paralysis tick and the threat to our dogs. But it left me wanting to know more about these and some other creepy crawlies.
Stephen, I would love to know, and I reckon a lot of people out there might as well, why do we have things like the paralysis tick and all these little parasites out there trying to hurt our dogs and cats?
Well, these ticks and other parasites, they're animals just like us and they're trying to survive. The way they survive is to take a blood meal.
Yes.
The normal host for the paralysis tick are bandicoots and kangaroos, and they don't cause severe disease in bandicoots and kangaroos. It's the natural host. But dogs and cats are not native to Australia, so when you have a dog or a cat with an unnatural tick, you get disease.
Okay.
It's on the wrong host.
Yeah, right.
While the paralysis tick is life-threatening to dogs, I was curious about the brown dog tick, which hasn't been a threat until a few years ago when the ehrlichiosis disease was identified in Australia.
The dog tick and the dog, they're living in harmony pretty well, like a marriage. You know, they're okay. But the ehrlichiosis, which is a bacterium, it's hijacking a lift in a tick from one dog to another, and it causes severe disease.
But still, a tick and a flea, they're not that nice to have on you.
No, they're not nice. And when they bite me, I get a lump that lasts for several weeks. It's a very unpleasant thing.
Yeah.
And I always protect myself. I don't walk out in the bush without having long pants and my socks tucked in my pants and putting red on my pants. I don't want to get bitten by ticks. So I agree, avoid ticks at all costs.
All right. So that's the same with our pets as well. So even though, I mean, they can die from the paralysis tick, and certainly in some areas, ehrlichiosis, they're dying as well. But also, we just want to protect them year-round from the nasties like fleas, ticks, parasites, worms, all those things.
It's a good idea. They're not doing them any good. One tick is enough to kill even a huge, Irish wolfhound.
Yes.
But one tick will do no damage even to a rat.
Yes.
A rat can take maybe 10
right.
individual ticks, but there's something about dogs and cats, but particularly dogs, really susceptible to the paralysis tick. And we're trying to understand this by looking at the toxins in this particular tick. And they're probably the Australian eastern paralysis tick is the worst tick in the world. It's got the most potent toxins.
Wow.
For dogs. We don't know why, but they really knock, as I say, one tick will knock over a really big dog. And in the last century, there are 21 people died from tick paralysis.
Right.
From this tick. More people than from funnel web spiders actually died.
Wow.
Not anymore, because now we have intensive care units and physicians know how to care for people with a tick.
Yeah.
But in the past, people have died, and it's still bad. If you get a tick, particularly on your face, you can get very nasty paralysis and all sorts of conditions. So again, stay on the path. Don't go walking around in the bush.
Yeah. You or your dogs.
Yeah.
And make sure that
avoid is always better than cure.
Okay. So while those ticks, those flea, all of those things don't mean to kill us or our dogs, they still can. So let's just protect them and ourselves year-round.
By the way, what's that? Is that a
By using a monthly NexGuard Spectra Chew, you can have peace of mind that your pet is protected all year round. Visit the NexGuard Spectra website to learn more. Would you like to win a Pawsome prize pack worth over $2,000? One lucky person will win a year's supply of VitaPet treats, Big Dog Pet Foods, NexGuard Spectra monthly chews, a $250 Pet Stock gift voucher, $500 worth of DGG grooming and apparel, a year's subscription to Dog TV, and a signed copy of both my books. Plus, there's 3 consolation prizes up for grabs too. To enter, sign up to our e-news and name one of the charities featured this series. All entries will receive a free ebook too, so visit poochesatplay.com. That brings us to the end of this week's episode, but there's plenty more information and entertainment on the Pooches at Play website and social media platforms. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.